Back in this little nuke yard where I brought in nukes from out yards. This one has now had 8 gallons of feed. They've completely drawn out their middle box. And they've drawn out their top box pretty much. I've got 6 frames up here. They are not heavy, so I'm going to give them 2 more gallons. And then after I get back from vacation, I will probably pull one of these feeders out, put 2 foundations in the center, and then start giving them a gallon at a time. Because they'll be basically complete. They'll be drawn out. They just need some weight. And I can get them some heavier syrup to get them a little heavier, but I like keeping them stimulated this time of year because they're not going to swarm. We're after the summer solstice, which is around June the 20th. We're past that, so they're not going to swarm. It's just good things to keep them raising brood and be strong going in the winter. So this is the next hive. They have also had 6 gallons of feed. They're almost complete in the bottom box or the middle box. They're a little bit light on those 2 foundations. And they've started working up here, but don't have nearly as much work done up here. So we'll give them a couple more. They probably are a brood cycle or 2 behind, or they just don't have as strong a queen. So we'll give them some more feed and hope that we can get them to complete 3 boxes. Well, I can honestly say I've never seen this before. This little nuke must have been sitting on the ground, and an ant nest. There's the queen right there. I think she probably is marked, maybe. Anyway, an ant nest must have built up into this thing, and they built up in between 2 foundations. I looked down and saw that. If I hadn't noticed it, they would never draw that right. It's one bad thing about screen bottoms, I guess. Or good if you want to look at it that way. I can bust this up and get it out. Never seen that before. Glad I noticed it. This one is built out enough that I'll probably give them a box today. So as always, bees like to move up more than they like to move out. They're working the center of this box, maybe the center 6 or 7 frames. These 2 were undrawn. This one is undrawn on one side, and that one's completely undrawn. Those were the 2 I just pulled out of there. And the box on top that had 6 frames in it, they're drawing those out because the feeder's in there. So they moved up and drew these. Now I'm having to rotate some of these down. I'll change out the 2 outer frames and make sure that those are drawn out completely. I've already been into the bottom and it's finished. I've already done this in the bottom. So if you put 4 drawn frames on the outsides, most of the time if you put 1 on the outside, that'll do it. But if you put 2 on the outside on each side, they'll certainly draw the other ones. So I'll do this, rotate those frames out. You can also just turn this one around. If I know it's drawn on that side, I can just turn it around so this undrawn face is toward a drawn frame, and then put a drawn one behind it, and that'll be fine. They'll finish that out just fine. So they've had 6 gallons. They're getting 2 more today. They'll probably get another round of 2 gallons and then pull their feeder, and that should complete them. Then pull their feeder, I mean take them from 2 to 1. That's good production. I'm paying for it, but it's good production. $2.62 a gallon. They're gonna have 8 as of today. And then the next time they'll have, it's $26, $27 to get 3 boxes drawn out in a nice healthy hive. $30 isn't bad. But it becomes a lot when you multiply it out though by quite a few nukes. But 100 hives can make a lot of honey next year and a lot of splits. So somebody mentioned in a comment that it seems like I've got far fewer hive beetles this year than I did in years past, and wanted to know if I had any thoughts on why. I just took this feeder out of this little small nuke over here. They're queen right, but they're just small and weak. They need some time and some feed and a brood cycle or two. I'll have to assess that queen and make sure she is good, because they should be doing a little better than that. But this is what I think is a main reason that my hive beetles have not been as bad this year as in years past. It's because I've not been feeding until June. I don't know if you can see that or not, but with these in-hive feeders, even with the cap and ladders, you get beetle larvae, you get drowned bees, and then you get beetle larvae swimming around in this soup of dead bees and sugar syrup. It's nasty. I'm gonna burn all this with my torch. I think this is the reason that I don't have as many beetles this year. It's because I have not been feeding. I think feeding sugar syrup to my nukes directly correlates to my beetle population. Now I could probably fix that by going to bucket feeders. You know, I'm in migratory lids. I could go to bucket feeders. I've tried bucket feeders. I'm not a huge fan. They've got some problems. So I really like in-hive feeders because, number one, you don't get robbing with them. Number two, they're convenient. They're in the hive all the time. I don't have to store them separately from all my other stuff. You know, the buckets, you've got to basically take empty IBC tote crates, just the metal crate, and you can use those to store the buckets in. You've got to have something to store those buckets in. The feeder plugs, you've got to take the feeder plugs out. You've got to clean the buckets. They're real bad to get mildew and stuff in them, and you got to clean them. They function great, but the upkeep and everything for them, I think, is moving them around and handling them and everything. I really prefer the in-hive feeders for all those reasons, but you don't get drowning with bucket feeders. None. No drowning. No dead bees. So that would mean you don't get any hive beetles because you're feeding your bees. It's a pretty strong plus there. I wonder if I could put peppermint oil or something in my syrup to keep the bees from, or to keep the hive beetles from building or laying eggs in the dead bee syrup soup. Or, you know, Lewis Bartlett at UGA is working on chlorantraniliprole, which is the chemical in grub X. I've got grub X in my bee yards. I don't have it in this section yet. I got to go get a bag for that. But if you could put some chlorantraniliprole in the sugar syrup, it should kill the hive beetle larvae when they get laid in that stuff. So I don't really like prophylactically giving an insecticide to my bees, though. I wonder if peppermint oil or Hive Alive, or if there's a supplement out there that would keep hive beetles from laying in these feeders. If you guys know of anything, let me know. It's the same deal on this hive. They had drawn out all 6 frames in the top box next to the feeders. Middle box, I just had to pull 3 frames out, 2 on this side, 1 on this side. Drop drawn frames back in. Put those undrawns in the center of this top box and they'll get them drawn out. That'll help them get completed. So this is the first round of syrup for these nukes. Take a look at them. So this is about what I would expect. That's a center frame. They obviously had a little bit of old comb on there. This was a partially drawn frame from the previous year. Because they've got some travel stain on the bottom part of it, but they're building that out nicely. Plenty of white wax down there. So 2 more gallons, they'll probably finish this out and be ready for another box. So far, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing on these nukes. I think I'm going to be able to get most of them up into 3s before they get into the summer doldrums. They just don't want to work when you get into August and September like they do now. If we keep having some decent weather, we had a really bad heat wave last week for about 7 to 10 days, but now it's in the 80s and it's relatively nice, plenty of soil moisture, so these are decently happy. I did see some robbing activity in the last yard I was in, but it wasn't horrible. Well, I love opening these things up and seeing dry feeders with no dead bees and white wax being drawn on those frames. That is exactly what we need. Love it. So of course not all of them look great. This one's a little smaller. I didn't give it a box. I just put a feeder in this box. They are drawing some foundation, but they were dry. These little nukes here were just dry, so I figured it would take a gallon to get them healthy and get the queen laying good and get them optimistic, and then another gallon to get them to start drawing wax. And then after that, I'll probably put a box on them and give them 2 gallons. They need a brood cycle. They need some more bees. Then they can really get some work done. The bees are getting pretty robby. That's a feeder I took out of a nuke when I added a box to it and gave it 2 feeders. So I took that out and added a couple of drawn frames. And it had a little bit of syrup left in it. And it's being robbed out. These are going after every drip coming out of my syrup system. Not much out there for them to eat right now. So I'm almost done feeding my yard. I'm 15 gallons short. I don't have a good way anymore to make small quantities of syrup. I used 7-gallon buckets, brewery style buckets several years ago, and you can make 6 gallons at a time, something like that. They're really slow to feed with. Last year I was feeding out of a 55-gallon drum, mixing it with an electric trolling motor, and that works okay, but I don't have that hooked up anymore. I don't really have a good way to get the syrup from the tank to my feed system. And my big mixing tank, it's gonna be hard to mix 15 gallons. Like, I've got a 2-inch trash pump. That's not gonna, it would be moving that stuff so fast I think it'll run itself dry. It's not worth firing that thing up to make 15 or 20 gallons. Need to figure something out. It would be a nice ability. Be nice to have the ability to make smaller batches and then get it into the feed tank and pump and everything I've got on my trailer. That would be really handy. Always put the smoker up before you take off. Had to drive back and find it. I'm kind of rough on smokers. This one's getting some wear on it. I have driven over it once with my trailer And it actually handled that pretty good. Bent the bellows a little bit, but I was able to put it back, bend it back some. It still works. Quite a production just to make 15 or 20 gallons of syrup. I decided the quickest, easiest thing would be to just do it with the drill mixer in a 7-gallon bucket. 25 pounds. Fill it up with water, mix it. That's roughly 1.3 to 1. I just use my drum top funnel to dump that into my tank. My IBC tote funnel. And go feed. I'm really thinking about how I want to do this in the future. And I think I may get another IBC tote and cut it off like right here. So it's waist height. Have this one here and then have this one over here, but higher. And I will dump water and sugar into this one and then mix up into the elevated one. And I think that would work really well. If I had an elevated drum over here, then I might be able to mix smaller quantities. A 55-gallon drum with a trolling motor works really well for mixing relatively small quantities, but I'm not set up to do that anymore. I don't have my drum set up where I can drain it. I'd almost need it sitting up high so I could drain into the top of this tank. And if you got it sitting up high, you don't want to use a ladder to put the sugar in. So I don't know, maybe if I do get another mixing tank, cut it off so I can dump sugar in, I could just have a drum over here to mix in as well. But I don't know. It's the time of year for syrup math. Thin syrup is roughly a 5 to 8 ratio, 5/8. 5 gallons of water will make 8 gallons of syrup. So that's a 0.625. So to feed all my nukes right now, it's going to take about 120 gallons of syrup to get through everybody. That'll increase slightly. I actually need about 110, but 120 will catch the ones that are growing and did need a gallon, but now they need 2. So 120 gallons of syrup, 5/8 ratio means I need 75 gallons of water. That is 600 pounds, making a 1.3 to 1 ratio. You divide 600 by 1.3. That means I need roughly 450 to 475 pounds of sugar in a tank. And that should give me right at 120 gallons of syrup.